and welcome to News Channel 8. And in tonight's top stories, we turn to St. Thomas, where a Domino gas station in Smith Bay is the scene of a shooting on 2 consecutive days. News Channel 8's Lee Carl reports.
Well, this is the end of the week, and it's been a busy week with shootings and guns and AK-47s, but the police now had to deal with 2 situations that may or may not be related. One of them was yesterday, last night, a shooting incident that took place near the Domino gas station out at Smith Bay. And apparently someone fired on one of the persons at the gas station. It may have been an attempted robbery. We don't know at this point. But that person was taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds and treated. Meantime, today, the police and ambulances went out to the same area, but at least just down the street to the entrance to Cokie or near Romano's in one of those restaurants. And it didn't take place in any of these establishments we're talking about now, but outside. This time it was someone driving a purple Honda, apparently fired on someone who was then taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds. Police arrived on the scene and fired at the vehicle as it sped away, breaking the rear window of the vehicle. They're still looking the vehicle and the suspect at this time as we speak. Now, some of those details may change when the official report comes out, because that's the information we have. Of course, we're approaching a weekend with a holiday, so it may be a bit delayed, but that is the information we have so far. 2 persons injured in the general area, the same area, out near Smith Bay. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel.
Thanks, Lee. And coming back here on St. Croix, a young man seeks justice and contacts News Channel 8. Glenn Jay interviews him.
I'm here with Mr. Honeyman. Everybody know Mr. Honeyman in Frederickstead. And, you know, this is not a sweet situation right now. We're talking about justice. Tell me basically what's going on, because I know you've been going through some changes. Tell me basically what's up.
Yes, Glenn. Right now, the problem that I have right now is that I have a son that is 7 years old, that his mom is a police officer. Her name is Cassandra Jerome. On March 6, 2007, my son fell out of a car that she was driving. My son was 5 years old at that time. He did not have no car seat inside of that car, much less he was not buckled up. You as a police officer, that you gonna tell me that my son was not buckled up, that you giving people ticket for not wearing seat belts? What is really going on? Eventually, it took me 2 days for me not going and look for my son, because I tried to keep I tried to keep myself. I tried to keep myself down low. Okay. When I went and looked for my son and I see the badly bruised on top of my son, skin came off like you just dragging me off of the pavement road. I asked my son what happened. My son will tell me, Daddy, Mommy was speeding inside of the car, and when she turned the corner, that's when I found out. I tried to call her and she didn't hear me. Okay. I called the mother and asked the mother, what is going on? You as a mother supposed to, you as a police officer that giving people ticket for not wearing seatbelt, at the end of the day, you are not going to make sure that your child buckle up? What are you trying to tell me? Is this a job? You doing? You just trying to see if you can make money in your pocket? That's all. So now, eventually, she got mad with me. What she did? Took her gun and put it to my head in front of my son. I was inside of my vehicle. When I was in my vehicle, she tried to get my son out of the vehicle. She gonna tell me, lose him, lose him. I tell her no. She took her gun and put it to my head. Just like how I'm doing it to Glenn right now. My son is in the middle in my vehicle. My son is a victim and he witnessed everything what happened to. And like I said, what bonding me up to this day is to know that she still have that job, to know that she have a gun on her side, that I am feeling threatened about, to know that she could always kill me, she could always come and do the same thing, or she could kill me, or somebody else. What are they going to wait for? For she to do something to somebody, for them to come and tell me, hey, you was right all the time, I'm sorry? I don't believe this is supposed to be this way. The neighbors who went and testified on my behalf, if they have to see she on the road with a police badge and a gun, or see she in a police car, would they believe in the police system? If I have a problem and anybody have a problem, I believe they're supposed to go to the law. That's what I did. This is the kind of slap on the wrist I end up getting. I don't believe it's supposed to be like that at all. I tried my best. I went to Human Services with my son, and I told him to ask my son any question pertaining what happened that night, to see if I am lying or not. They did go ahead and ask my son. My son told him the truth and nothing else but the truth. But stating when my son went to the police station that night when it happened, on the 8th of March 2007, they questioned my son in front of his mother. I was not there at all. So you trying to tell me that the police is not doing their job right because they don't want nothing to mess up on their behalf? When they asked my son what happened, his mother was there, I was not there. What do you expect my son to do? But to lie to make his mother feel good because he have to go back in that same house with his mom. What is going on in this government right now, in this police department?
So you said you went to Human Services. I
went to everybody. Human Services, the Attorney General. I went to the Governor's office. I went to the Justice Department, Attorney General, the Police Department. I went to the Commissioner, who was Chief Hanna at that time. I never get no response from the Commissioner itself because I called his office and leave message. I write a letter, typed it, and I dropped it off to the judge, Judge Steele. I dropped it off in her office. I dropped one copy at the Governor's office, the Chief office, the Commissioner's office, and
so you cover all.
Woman collation, man collation. Like I said, if it was me on my behalf that was the did all that crime that happened, I would have never been speaking to you guys right now. I would have been locked up in jail. Put anybody else in my shoes. Ask yourself, what would you do to know that after she put that gun to your head and she realized what she did, she went and took the gun and put it inside and came back outside? What would you do when you see she come back outside without no gun? Tell me, what would you do? Would you think twice like me? Or you would just react and what happened after that happened after that?
You heard the story. I'm speechless, but we're going to get in touch. Like I said, we're going to get in touch with the police chief and the commissioner and everybody else and follow up on this and see basically what happens, man. All right, for News 8, I'm Glenn Drayton.